Hello and welcome. I am Pranay Upadhyay and you are watching Namaste World, your daily window into the biggest stories shaping India and the world. We begin in South Asia, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi is likely to visit Israel after nearly 9 years. The trip is expected to focus on defense, counter-terrorism, trade, security and stability in the West Asia region. In India, the push to become an aircraft manufacturing hub is gathering pace. Hindustan Aeronautics Limited has tied up with Russia for Superjet program, while Adani Group has partnered with Brazil's Embraer. And in East Asia, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer is hailing progress from his Beijing visit, even as United States President Donald Trump warns Britain, calling closer business ties with China very dangerous. But the biggest news of the day: global diplomatic efforts intensify as US-Iran tensions rise, with world leaders rushing to prevent conflict. Meanwhile, India prepares to host second India-Arab foreign ministers meeting. All that and more. Global flashpoints, power plays and the stories that matter coming up in this edition of Namaste World. So stay tuned. Amid escalating tensions in West Asia region, intense diplomatic efforts are underway as world leaders dispatch envoys and visit key capitals to avert potential conflict between United States and Iran. UAE's President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan held talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow, where they discussed the volatile situation in Iran. Saudi's Defense Minister Prince Khalid bin Salman visited Washington, D.C. for high-level meetings with US officials, including Secretary of State Marco Rubio, focusing on Iran amid discussions of possible US military options. Meanwhile, many foreign ministers and high-ranking officials have gathered in New Delhi for the second India-Arab foreign ministers meeting, bringing together representatives from Arab nations to strengthen regional dialogue. On the US side, President Donald Trump signaled a mix of pressure and openness to talk, stating, and I quote, "We have a lot of very big, very powerful ships sailing to Iran right now, and it would be great if we didn't have to use them," unquote. Trump also indicated that he is planning discussions with Tehran even as the Pentagon prepares for any presidential decision and additional US warships bolster the naval presence in the region. All eyes remains on these frenetic diplomatic channels as the international community seek to prevent further escalation. After nearly 9 years, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is likely to visit Israel in February, at a time of heightened turmoil in West Asia region, with defense ties, trade talks and regional security on the agenda. The trip could mark a strategic reset in India-Israel relations. So why does Modi's Israel visit matter now? Here's a report by Jyoti Shukla.
After nearly 9 years, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to return to Israel, and this visit couldn't come at a more critical moment. Prime Minister Modi is expected to travel to Israel on February 27th and 28th, marking his first visit to the country in his third term. It follows an official invitation from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and signals a renewed push to deepen one of India's most strategic partnerships in West Asia. So why does this visit matter? First, timing. West Asia is going through intense geopolitical churn with the Gaza conflict, regional security tensions, and shifting global alliances. India has walked a careful diplomatic line, condemning the October 7 Hamas terror attacks, while also calling for humanitarian laws to be upheld in Gaza. During recent calls, Netanyahu briefed Prime Minister Modi on the Gaza peace plan, while India reiterated its support for a just and durable peace. Second, strategic cooperation. India and Israel share a zero-tolerance approach to terrorism. Defense, counter-terrorism, cybersecurity, drones, missiles, and surveillance systems form the backbone of this relationship. Israel remains one of India's key defense technology partners, supplying cutting-edge systems that strengthen India's military preparedness. Third, trade and technology. Talks on a free trade agreement are gaining momentum. The terms of reference have already been signed, and an Israeli trade delegation is expected in Delhi soon. From agriculture and water management to semiconductors, AI and innovation, both countries see enormous economic potential. There's also the bigger connectivity picture. where Modi's visit could give a major boost to India's Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor, or IMEC, launched at the G20 summit in Delhi in 2023, a project that aims to reshape global trade routes. This visit also carries historical weight. When Modi visited Israel in 2017, he became the first Indian Prime Minister to do so. Netanyahu personally accompanied him for most of the trip, an honor usually reserved for US presidents. That visit also marked India's dehyphenated approach as Modi skipped Ramallah, signaling a new independent Israel policy. 9 years later, Modi's return to Israel is not just symbolic. It reflects continuity, confidence, and India's growing role as a pragmatic power navigating a divided world. With Jyoti Shukla, Bureau Report, India Today Global.
India is stepping up its aviation ambitions, moving beyond buying aircraft to building them at home. With new partnerships involving Russia and Brazil, New Delhi is laying the foundation for regional jet manufacturing. But how serious is India about becoming a global aircraft hub? Here is a report by Farhan Khan.
India is accelerating its ambition to become a serious aircraft manufacturing hub. And two major international partnerships show how fast things are moving. First, state-owned aerospace giant Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, or HAL, has signed a cooperation agreement with Russia's United Aircraft Corporation to produce the Superjet 100, also known as the SJ-100 in India. The aircraft is a twin-engine narrow-body regional jet designed to carry between 87 and 108 passengers. Under the deal, HAL will license produce the aircraft in India, directly supporting the government's Make in India program and reducing dependence on imported regional aircraft. HAL's chairman D.K. Sunil said the company plans to start rolling out semi-knockdown versions of the SJ-100 within the next 3 years using existing facilities. The idea is speed. HAL does not want to wait years for full-scale production. Instead, it plans to lease 10 to 20 aircraft directly from Russia in flyaway condition and deploy them quickly, while domestic assembly ramps up. Sunil estimates that India alone could need more than 200 aircraft in this category. Beyond assembly, HAL will also help Russia's UAC with certification and validation of the aircraft for Indian operations. In return, Russian specialists will assist HAL in upgrading production facilities and setting up supply chains. The agreement is expected to evolve into a broader roadmap covering timelines, costs, and workload sharing. At the same time, India is also deepening aviation ties with Brazil. Adani Aerospace and Defense has signed a memorandum of understanding with Embraer, the world's third largest aircraft manufacturer after Airbus and Boeing, to assemble commercial aircraft in India.
It is with immense pride that I announce that Adani Defense is today entering into a landmark partnership with Embraer, one of the world's foremost aircraft manufacturers. Together, we will establish a regional aircraft manufacturing facility in India and a one-of-its-kind aviation ecosystem, a project that will redefine the future of aviation in our country. This partnership is more than just a business agreement. It is a vision taking flight. It represents India's determination to build world-class aviation capabilities on our own soil, aligned with the national mission of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Under the visionary leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, India has embraced bold reforms and ambitious initiatives that have transformed infrastructure and industry. His call for self-reliance has inspired us to think bigger, act faster, and deliver projects that strengthen India's global standing. This facility is going to be a direct reflection of that vision, turning aspiration into action. We are equally grateful for the guidance and support of the Honorable Minister of Civil Aviation, Shri Naidu Garu, Secretary of Civil Aviation, Shri Sinha, Defense Secretary Shri Rajesh Kumar Singh, and the entire team at MOCA, whose tireless efforts have ensured that India's aviation sector remains one of the fastest growing in the world.
While details such as the facility location and final partnership structure are still being finalized, both sides have made it clear that this is not just about final assembly. The Adani-Embraer partnership aims to build a full regional transport aircraft ecosystem in India that includes manufacturing, supply chains, maintenance and repair operations, pilot training and deeper localization of parts and subcomponents. Embraer sees India as a high-growth market. The company already operates around 50 aircraft in India across military, government and regional airline roles. It has also pitched its C-390 military transport aircraft to the Indian Air Force under a Make in India framework. The timing is no accident. India's civil aviation market is expanding rapidly, driven by rising passenger demand and the government's Udan scheme, which has revived dozens of underserved and unserved airports. Indian Airlines have already placed orders for more than 1,800 aircraft, signaling long-term growth. According to Embraer's own forecast, India will need at least 500 regional jets in the 80 to 140 seat category over the next 20 years, exactly the space targeted by the SJ100 and Embraer's E-Jets family. India is no longer just buying planes. It wants to assemble them and eventually build them. With partnerships spanning Russia and Brazil and a focus on regional connectivity, jobs and self-reliance, India's runway to becoming a global regional aircraft hub is finally taking shape. With Farhan Khan, Bureau Report, India Today Global.
After nearly a decade, a British Prime Minister is back in Beijing, and this time London is looking for results. Keir Starmer's China visit signals a reset in ties, delivering business gains while also drawing warnings from Washington DC. So what exactly did the UK gain from this outreach? Here is a report by Jyoti Shukla.
After nearly a decade, a British Prime Minister is back in Beijing, and this time, London came looking for results.
Welcome to China.
Oh, thank you so much.
Keir Starmer's 4-day visit to China marked a clear shift in the UK's approach to Beijing, moving away from freeze and friction towards what Starmer calls pragmatic engagement. And while the trip was carefully choreographed, it did deliver some tangible gains for Britain. The biggest headline win? Visa-free travel. Under a new agreement, UK citizens travelling to China for business or tourism will soon be allowed visa-free entry for trips of up to 1 month. While a start date hasn't been announced, the UK government says it wants this in place as soon as possible. For British businesses, this removes a long-standing barrier to operating in one of the world's largest markets. Starmer made it clear that this is about growth. Britain wants its companies back in China, trading, investing and expanding, and easier travel is a key part of that push. The second major takeaway from the pharmaceutical sector. British drug maker AstraZeneca announced a massive $15 billion investment in China over the next 4 years. The investment will fund research and develop hubs across several Chinese cities and mark AstraZeneca's biggest commitment to China so far. For the United Kingdom government, this underlines Britain's strength in life sciences and helps keep UK firms competitive globally. On trade, London and Beijing also agreed to launch a joint feasibility study on services trade, an area where Britain sees major opportunity from finance to professional services. While this stops short of a full trade deal, it signals renewed economic dialogue after years of strained ties. Beyond economics, Starmer used the visit to reopen high-level political engagement. He held extended talks with President Xi Jinping, raising sensitive issues, including the case of Jimmy Lai, the former Hong Kong media tycoon and British citizen convicted in December on national security charges, while also stressing cooperation on global challenges. The two sides also announced a series of cooperation frameworks ranging from organized crime and food safety to education, sports and health, though details remain limited for now. But this outreach has not gone unnoticed in Washington. US President Donald Trump has already warned that deeper UK-China business ties could be very dangerous. A clear reminder of the diplomatic tightrope London is walking as it balances economic opportunity with alliance politics. Experts remain cautious. Analysts say agreements are incremental rather than transformative, and Britain's economic dependence on the United States is unlikely to change anytime soon. Still, for Starmer, the visit achieved its core aim of reopening doors, restarting dialogue and positioning Britain as a pragmatic player in an increasingly divided world. With Jyoti Shukla, Bureau Report, India Today Global.
As we wrap up today's show, here's a quick look at the top stories making waves around the world. Activists unveil a giant portrait of 5-year-old Hind Rajab in Barcelona, making 1 year of her death and highlighting Gaza's suffering children. Rising heat and salty water are forcing Basra to grow date palms in labs to save endangered Iraqi varieties. North Korea's Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un announces massive construction projects as the country prepares for a key party congress. Japan and South Korea's defense ministers play table tennis using sport diplomacy to strengthen security cooperation amid regional tensions. And that brings us to the end of today's edition of Namaste World. From breakthrough in technology and business to political developments and natural disasters. Stay tuned as we bring you the latest updates, key developments and more from New Delhi to New York. See you again tomorrow, same time, right here on Namaste World.